Billions of frogs are raised and processed for meat every single year, and today we're going to explore exactly how frog farming makes that possible, from mud to meal. Frogs might not be the first thing that comes to mind when you think of farming. They're small, slippery, and usually hiding under leaves or sitting silently by the water. But in parts of the world, they're a serious business. In China alone, frog farms produce over 1.6 million tons of frog meat annually. That's about 70% of the global supply. And the journey from tadpole to dinner plate is more complex than most people think. In this video, we'll dive into the surprising science behind frog reproduction, the methods farmers use to raise them efficiently, and how modern processing turns these amphibians into clean, export-ready products. Part 1. Key biological traits of frogs and frog farming scale in China. Frogs are amphibians found in many wet regions of the world. They rarely draw attention, but their bodies are built for precision and speed. A full-grown frog can leap up to 20 times its body length. To put that in perspective, that's like a person jumping over a city bus in one push. Their tongues act like ultra-sticky traps, snapping out faster than a blink to catch unsuspecting insects. Some species even secrete mild toxins through their skin, not fatal, but enough to cause numbness or irritation if handled carelessly. These traits make frogs surprisingly well-suited for commercial farming. They grow fast, require little feed, help control pests naturally, and offer high-value meat. Today, China leads the world in frog farming, producing over 1.6 million tons annually, about 70% of global supply. In regions like Jiangsu or Fujian, frog farms have begun replacing traditional fish ponds due to faster returns and higher profits. The small lesson here: sometimes the most overlooked creatures turn out to be the most valuable if we know where to look. Next, let's see how frog farms kickstart the process using artificial rain. Part 2. Breeding conditions, tadpole development, and juvenile frog care. Frogs don't reproduce on instinct alone. Mating only occurs when the environment meets specific conditions: water at 78 to 86 degrees F, soft lighting, neutral pH, and most importantly, complete silence. Many farms even use artificial rain systems. The sound and feel of rainfall act as a natural trigger, telling frogs it's time to begin mating. Once conditions are right, the male mounts the female in a position called amplexus, and they release eggs and sperm into the water for external fertilization. A healthy female can lay up to 6,000 eggs in a single season. Within 3 to 7 days, the eggs hatch into tadpoles, tiny tail-driven swimmers that breathe through gills and feed on algae. But within weeks, those tadpoles begin a dramatic transformation, growing legs, switching to lungs, and becoming fully formed frogs. At this stage, young frogs are extremely sensitive. They're raised in shallow tanks with light water flow, and lighting is carefully controlled to support healthy skin and bone development. Without proper separation, by size, they may even turn cannibalistic. And the takeaway here is simple. Raising frogs isn't just about feeding them, it's about replicating nature, down to the smallest biological detail. Once these juveniles are strong enough, they enter the next phase, fattening for harvest. Part 3. Fattening for market and modern harvesting techniques. Once frogs reach about 7 to 9 ounces, they enter the final fattening stage, designed to boost weight and build resistance before harvest. They're moved into large outdoor ponds or flat-bottomed concrete tanks. The stocking density is typically around 3 to 5 frogs per square foot, with gentle water circulation and mesh covers to maintain stable conditions and reduce stress. Their diet is upgraded with floating pellets, live insects, and ground fish, gradually increasing protein content to promote lean muscle growth. Some farms also install floating platforms where frogs can rest out of water, a small touch that improves comfort and meat quality. After 8 to 12 weeks, most frogs weigh between 9 and 12 ounces, the ideal range for commercial sale. As for harvesting, traditional hand-catching methods have largely been replaced. Many farms now use soft mesh guide nets. By slightly lowering the water level or creating subtle sound cues, farmers can trigger the frog's natural shelter-seeking behavior, causing them to move into collection tanks on their own. This approach minimizes injury, saves labor, and preserves meat quality from the very first step of the supply chain. The small takeaway? When you work with nature, not against it, productivity and quality tend to follow naturally. From here, the frogs are transported to processing facilities where a new phase begins, turning live frogs into clean, export-ready food products. We'll take a look inside that next. Part 4: Transportation, Processing, and Packaging. After harvest, live frogs are transported to processing plants in chilled, oxygenated containers. The goal is to limit movement, reduce stress, and preserve meat freshness. At the facility, frogs are rinsed and then deep chilled at 32 to 36 degree F to stabilize muscle texture and keep the meat firm. They are then cleaned and divided into parts, legs, bodies, skins, and organs, following strict food handling standards. The separated parts are washed in a cold water circulation system to remove blood and surface residue, without the use of chemical preservatives. Next comes flash freezing at temperatures between 4 and minus 22 degree F, locking in cellular structure and color. Depending on market demand, the products can include whole legs, boneless thighs, or pre-marinated cuts. Packaging uses vacuum sealing or modified atmosphere technology to extend shelf life and maintain freshness during transport. At one facility in Guangdong, the semi-automated line processes up to 1,500 frogs per hour, with exports going to major markets like France and Singapore. The small takeaway? Clean, precise handling isn't just about food safety. It's a quiet form of respect for the animal that sustains us. Up next, we'll explore how this carefully processed frog meat becomes a culinary favorite in kitchens around the world. Part 5: The Journey of Frog Meat to the Global Table. From farming ponds to dining plates, frog meat has traveled far. More than just food, it's the result of a controlled agricultural system, careful breeding, clean processing, and smart packaging. In France, butter-fried frog legs are served as a refined appetizer. In Asia, frog is found in hot porridge, spicy stir-fries, and bubbling hot pots. Different cultures, same idea. Frog meat is lean, high in protein, and surprisingly flavorful. But with rapid growth comes real questions. Is the environment being impacted? Are animal welfare standards respected? Do consumers know enough about what they're eating? The real takeaway: behind every dish is a supply chain. When we understand where our food comes from, we don't just eat better, we consume more responsibly. If you found this video insightful, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more behind-the-scenes stories with Inside Food Factory. See you in the next video.